Do not sign that loan transfer agreement until you have watched this video. Do not. In this video, we're going to explain the loan up transfer structure. And I'll tell you 5 things Loanee clubs under this structure must ensure its inclusion in a loan transfer agreement. The loan transfer agreement usually involves 3 parties. You have the player who is the subject of the transfer, you have the parent club, which is the club sending the player out on loan, and then you have the Loanee club, which is the club receiving the player on loan or taking the player on loan. The loan up transfer structure is quite unique. It rarely happens. What you usually see in organized football are lateral transfers. These are transfers involving clubs on the same level, or the loan down system, where a bigger club sends its young players out on loan to smaller clubs in order to help these players gain significant playing time, which they probably would not have had at the bigger clubs due to the abundance of talent or due to some other reason. Now, for the loan up transfer structure, what you have is the smaller clubs, smaller but ambitious clubs. Here they send their players out on loan to bigger clubs who are playing in bigger leagues with the hope that the exposure these leagues will afford their players will increase the player's market valuation, increase his sale prospects, and ensure that more money is made off the player's sale. What they are saying is that they are admitting that they are a small club. They are admitting that they are playing in a lower league. They are admitting that if this player scores 20 goals, racks up 30 appearances, scores about 5 hat-tricks over the course of a season at this level or playing at this level, he probably will not be able to command the kind of transfer fee he would have commanded had he performed in similar fashion in a bigger league. A very good example of this sort of structure happened in Nigeria when a club playing in one of Nigeria's lower divisions, FC Rocket, loaned a very talented player, Daniel Daga, to the biggest club in Nigeria, Enyimba FC. FC Rocket understood that Daniel Daga stood to benefit from such loan move. They understood that Daniel Daga's continued stay at FC Rocket would deny him the exposure playing on a grander stage would afford him. This exposure has a correlation with market valuation. Enyimba at the time was playing in the inaugural African Football League, a club with regular club participation in CAF club competitions, a club that plays in the Nigerian Professional Football League. So they understood that these competitions would afford Daniel Daga some sort of growth. They understood that these competitions would increase the market valuation of Daniel Daga. They understood that they stood to benefit from the exposure these competitions or participating in these competitions would afford Daniel Daga. They took benefit some weeks ago when they sold Daniel Daga to a club playing in Norway for over 500,000 euros. I believe the player would not have been able to command this sort of transfer fee had he remained at FC Rocket. Now that we have understood that this sort of system favors the parent club or the small clubs in this instance, how can clubs or Loanee clubs ensure that they are able to benefit from this arrangement? First, the Loanee club must ensure it has the right to buy the player. You do not want a situation where a player comes to your club on loan, performs exceedingly well, becomes a fan favorite, and then has to return to his parent club. You must insert the right to buy the player. The Loanee club must also negotiate for the right to extend the loan if certain milestones are met by the player. The Loanee club must also ensure the inclusion of matching right options in the agreement. The matching right options are what we call right of first refusal. What the Loanee club is saying here is that if I do not eventually buy this player, or if I do not eventually exercise my right to buy the player, and he has to return to your club, if another club presents an offer to your club for the purchase of this player, send me that offer and give me 3 days. And within 3 days, if I do not match that offer, you can sell him. So by doing this, the Loanee club protects their interest or its interest in the player even after the loan period has ended. The Loanee club must negotiate to be able to receive a percentage of training rewards which will be due to the parent club for its effort in the training and development of the player. First, we understand that the Loanee club has the right to receive training compensation, solidarity contribution due to its effort in training and developing the player during that loan period. However, the Loanee club can take a step further to say, because I have accepted this player on loan, I also want to partake in sharing your own training rewards. I want to receive a percentage of your solidarity contribution in the future. I want to receive a percentage of training compensation which will be paid to you in the future. The Loanee club can also negotiate to be entitled to receive a percentage of future transfer fees which will be due to the parent club of the player in the event the player is sold by the parent club to a third club for a fee. These are some of the things a Loanee club must ensure its inclusion in a loan transfer agreement under this sort of structure in order to benefit.